Hey there guys, Johnny Vance here with the Tampa Bay Film Circle almost. Gosh, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Okay. Hey there guys, Johnny Vance here at the North Film Festival here over at the Producers Club in Hell's Kitchen in New York City. Yeah. Said that so many times, why can't it be any easier? I got Stefanie here. We just finished. She had a film going on earlier. We call it Borderline. We're going to do a little interview here with Stefanie. Stefanie, how are you doing, Stefanie?
I'm doing great. It's a wonderful evening.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
Good. I'm doing very well.
Fantastic.
It's coming close to the third day here at the film festival.
I know, it's called My Fest.
Yeah. I mean, you've been here all 3 days, right?
Yes.
How have you been enjoying it?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the venue. The films are amazing, and just the people. It's always the people, really, that make it. This event really just magical.
Mm-hmm. It does. Seriously. So we're going to be talking about Borderline. Your Borderline film was about mental health situations.
Yes.
Borderline personality.
Borderline personality disorder.
Some of us, maybe a lot of us, can understand that. So tell me a little bit about what got you to write this film.
So this film was inspired by my daughter's borderline personality disorder and her spiral into kind of psychosis and struggle with mental health conditions. And we, and I'll talk about this more later, but we struggled with, she committed a very terrible crime. She started acting out. She exhibited at-risk behaviors. It was a really dark time for a long time that we got through. And once we kind of got through it, I wanted to give back. I was so grateful that we had gotten through it, that she was ultimately okay, even though there were definitely times when I didn't know she would be okay. And I basically wanted to give back, and I started to become an activist. So I joined the board of a mental health nonprofit. I started speaking at schools and businesses, and putting advocacy into my art. So I'm a writer. I did a lot of writing, and I also connected with my director, her name's Maria Picar, and told her about the story. She was aghast, but she said this would be a great film, and so we collaborated on this film project, and to share with the world.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of push with the whole mental health scene, the whole mental health, the whole scene of that. It's very complex, and we have a lot of science that has been coming to light to us. We've been very stupid when it comes to our brains, our whole nervous system. Like,
Absolutely.
People calling things that they don't know what to call it, so they're just going to call it a name like borderline.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Explain to me a little bit about like that whole borderline. Like we were talking a little bit earlier, and it's like you said borderline personality disorder. I said, bipolar. But no, It's different. Tell me the difference.
No, that's a very common misconception. And for a long time, clinicians, people didn't know what borderline personality disorder was. It is a certifiable, viable DSM certified mental health condition, and it's different than bipolar. And I'll, even though I'm not a mental health professional, I'm a mental health activist and advocate, but I'll try to explain the differences. One, bipolar is organic, so you can have the best upbringing in the world, you can have the best parents in the world, and you can still have bipolar disorder because it's like having a heart condition or diabetes.
So you're saying organic is more of like a genetic thing?
Yes, it's just something you're born with.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Where by borderline personality disorder, yes, there is an element of genetics. You have to be predisposed, but there's also external factors
like
too.
Traumas.
It can be trauma and environmental factors, as well as genetic. I mean, and it's why. In a household, maybe even an abusive household, there's two children, one child could be totally fine, and the other child could develop borderline personality disorder. So those are some of the differences. Also, bipolar, even though they both exhibit high highs, low lows, bipolar disorder has more sustained highs and sustained lows. Where borderline personality disorder, the revolutions are faster. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's more up and down. They could be very, manic and high and happy one minute or 1 hour, and then hit rock bottom, within the span of an hour or two. Mm-hmm. So those are some of the significant differences.
Yeah, did she go through like those, with the whole mental health system? It's crazy what can happen. You can go from here.
Yep.
From here to here,
Yep.
to here.
Yep.
Like, is there how complicated it is just to figure out what's going on with your kid?
Yeah, I mean,
Doctor, how many doctors did you go to trying to figure out what's going on? Yeah.
Quite a few. And it's so funny because like when she was starting to exhibit these behaviors early on, of course I was concerned, and I knew as a parent that something wasn't right, that it was more than just teenage drama, right, or teenage angst. So I took her to therapists. Because biologically, we're connected. We know when our children are struggling. So I took her to therapists, and you would be amazed at how many therapists didn't even want to consider that it was a mental health condition. And we're talking about like 15 years ago, 14 years ago, something like that now. So things have changed significantly since then. But even the therapist we had early on, or one of them we had, said, oh, I think she's just angry because of the divorce, or this is just
she's acting out.
She's acting out.
Yeah.
And
hormones.
And I'm like, no, I didn't think so. And it's really hard to tell for parents because a lot of teenagers, their hormones are bouncing all over. They're they feel things so deeply, they don't know how to express their emotions. So all teenagers are a little mentally ill, right? Yeah. But there are some.
I remember.
Right. We all do.
We all remember.
Exactly.
Right?
We're all there. But there are some significant different, some indicators. One would be the consistency, of their behaviors. So, whereas, like, say, a neurotypical teenager would maybe get mad a little bit, or slam doors or whatever, and then be fine. Maybe a day or two later. Teenagers with a mental health condition, like bipolar or borderline, much longer, for a more sustained period of time. Also, the intensity of their outbursts. All teenagers kind of throw temper tantrums, but if they're really like slamming doors or screaming or going on, their behaviors are very extreme, that's another indication. So intensity, consistency, those are two kind of ways to say, okay, maybe something's not right. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they have a mental health condition. It means it probably warrants looking into.
Yeah, it's worth looking into, definitely.
Yeah, it means talking to your physician, talking to your, maybe a therapist or somebody who could give them more of an assessment.
And with this film, you were hoping to help her, or were you helping to help others in this type of situation?
I was hoping to help others and hoping to raise awareness. She was interviewed, and I think so. Short answer, maybe both. Like, it was a kind of a catharsis for both of us, and healing in basically telling our story and being very transparent and vulnerable about that. But also to help raise awareness for others and by sharing our story, we can hopefully convey that, other people experiencing this are not alone. That you're not alone, that it's hard, it's a struggle, you're going to tear your hair out, you're going to not feel like you're doing everything wrong as a parent. You're not going to always be perfect, don't expect to be. But we really would want to raise awareness for other families going through this, and also give them hope. And yes, there are many different outcomes. Some are terrible, some are good. But also give people hope that it doesn't always have to be this way. That there can be reconciliation, there can be healing. You can go on. No matter what kind of happens, there's always hope.
So give me some advice for some of those folks that are dealing with those mental health problems. Not everyone has. I dealt with my own situation through injury and traumatic brain injury and stuff like that. Won't even get into that right now, but. Your support system is a huge part of your success and your rehabilitation.
Huge.
So, me myself, I didn't have that. I love when friends and family are there for their loved ones that deal with this.
Yes.
It makes it. There was a couple times to where like some of these other mental health films that I've seen here at the film festival, it made me tear because it caught me. I know how it feels to be in that situation.
Yes.
So you having your daughter's side, she probably did not like it at all at the first, but I bet you she just loves and adores you right now because of that.
Yes,
my mother would have sold my organs, okay? And I don't think you would have done that.
No, I mean, that's terrible. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, we're best friends right now. I mean, so we, my daughter really struggled when she did some things that, she committed some crimes, and she really went down kind of a dark path early on. But like, she got help, a lot of treatment. She went to a long-term residential mental health boarding school. She got a lot of ways to manage and
She built a toolbox.
She built a toolbox. She got a lot of tools.
Her ailments.
Yes. And we've had a solid relationship for a very long time. We're best friends. And
really
in
good.
fact, not only that, I mean, she was interviewed in our film, so she agreed to do our film. And she is, because I'm an advocate, I do a lot of speaking at conferences. So she's even shared a stage with me at NAMI California conference when we were talking about, we had a session and we had a presentation, and we presented together as mother and daughter about how to see the signs of, the indications of mental illness in children. And so we did kind of bounce off each other, from two different perspectives.
That's a really cool relationship to have
We
with
had
your
a great
daughter.
relationship.
Wow.
Yes.
That is really cool.
So I'm there for her consummately, and she's the love of my life. So, yeah.
See, like she said, there's a chance for reconciliation. Hi, Mom. There's a chance. There's a chance.
Yes.
But that's amazing.
Thank
it's
you.
amazing what you did for your daughter, and you're still with her.
Yep.
So she's doing good now. She is pretty in a solid state, and
She is, yeah. She's working a couple jobs. She's saving money. She and her partner want to buy land in Oregon and, do homesteading and have milk cows and grow their own vegetables.
that's cool.
And,
Yeah, you don't want to trust all the stuff that's coming in the grocery store now.
I mean,
so I might go shop at her farm.
Totally.
Okay?
And grow their own vegetables. She loves that stuff. They just want kind of a peaceful life. And he's a mechanic and a mechanical engineer. She wants to. They want to have a business, and she wants to run the business. So it's like they're starting really a very promising life.
Good.
And it's exciting, and I'm very happy.
I'm very excited for her too.
And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful.
Good. Well, I'm grateful for you for being there for your daughter. I'm gonna hug you like I wish I could hug my mom. Come here. Give me some love. That is amazing.
Well,
Thank you so much for that.
So you've been giving pieces of advice. I'll give you pieces of advice. Your family isn't necessarily blood. I mean, your family is who you choose and who've been there for you and who love you unconditionally. That's your family. And sometimes it's not always the way we want, but you know what? I have a chosen family too, and I wouldn't trade them for anything. I'm so grateful for them.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. And I hope sometime that we get to have your daughter here, that we can interview her.
Absolutely, yeah.
Again, my name is Johnny Vance. I'm part of the whole Tampa Bay film circle. I'm also a part of multiple film festivals.
Okay.
So I'm in the Tampa Bay area. Tampa Bay,
Okay.
Clearwater, St. Pete. Definitely get your film out there.
I will.
Get it there. We have a really good community. I think
Okay. Is there a
that they
film
would
festival
resonate very
in
well.
Tampa?
Yeah, there is.
Amazing.
There's five or six of them that I'm a part
Okay.
of.
We'll check
And
that
then
out.
I have Darwin over there. Darwin, I got this TNFF, and I've got the Love Hope International Film Festival. So we kicking some butt here in the film festivals, baby. Hey, so I would love to get you guys out there and
We'd love
hopefully
it.
get your stories seen more.
We'd be honored.
All right, thank you so much,
All right,
Steph.
thank you.
Give me some. Bye, guys. Thank you.